Alright everyone? Before we go on, I've got like 5 because I've got to get off to the airport, so I haven't got a lot yet. And then you know what's going on with me, new album, talk and stuff. So.
Okay, that came from Tony Wilson. I was on a panel. I don't know why, but he was talking about music management in the city, and he was a couple of other guys, and I was sitting there, and he was saying, somebody was saying about if you're in a band, you know, can you give us some advice? And he said, just go in. They'll be fucking tell them, say, go in there and tell them, you know, you're fucking shit, you know, fuck all, I'm fucking everything. And I was like, tell me, I think that's great advice, surely.
It was a programmer she was working with, doing beats, and the two of them, I remember at the time saying, you and him, that's a good thing, and all you need to do is just add some stuff to it. But they teamed them up in my, as far as I'm concerned, maybe we're wrong, so the wrong producers, no offence to those people. But her writing was fantastic. It was really good.
About a girl who wanted everything. Rock and roll manager, famous producer, TV, record deals, hit after hit after hit. It may be true, it may be not.
In a small, cluttered room above a chip shop in Harper North Manchester, a star was born. Tracy Starr was born on the 15th of May. Her early childhood was isolated and oftentimes quite bleak. In the minds of many young, impressionable Mancunians like Tracy, an escape from the grim, rain-soaked streets of Manchester to a life of rock and roll seemed not only desirable, but achingly achievable.
This is the story of the rise and fall of a northern star. Posters of ethereal beings, so esoteric, so alien. Well, alien to here. North Manchester, where the only splash of colour was the orange of a Bowie fan's hairdo. In these narrow-minded, racist streets of North Mank, the thin white Duke was our working class hero. Stripy leg warmers and diamond cut teeth. All the rock hard lads would go down the Roxy route, practice the art of Marcel Marceau, with no fear of retribution. And the girls, they'd stick pins in the face to achieve them Bowie cheekbones. I'd use his music to drown out the noise of slamming doors and barking dogs. We were on the cusp of the 80s and there was fuck all, no jobs, no future. I was too young to be a punk, so I joined many tribes. I was a mod, a rocker, a navel gazer. We all marched on the hacienda in a uniform of grey or black. In a bid to be non-conformists, we were all conforming. But he showed us the Stooges, French poets, Russian writers, Jean Genet, Gore Vidal, and his visions of Hollywood. Because Manchester was Hollywood, with puddles. And I was as desperate as the characters that I read about. So why not live now and die fast in a blaze of rock and roll glory? Join the 27 Forever Club with illustrious company. Jimmy, Janice, James and Jim. And like them, create esoteric town soundscapes for the discerning listener in the sky. Because, well, being in a band is the only form of escape. So that was my dream, and my name is Star. Honest, Tracy Star, just like what I want to be, a rock and roll star. I got my first gig supporting John Cooper Clarke at the Cypress Tavern. If you're not familiar with the place, it's a long cellar bar with no stage, and most nights resulted in a fight. I'd actually just shown up to recite my lyrics over another band's music, but none of them has shown up. Well, except for the keyboard player, because he enjoyed violence. John Cooper Clarke's fans were already in, pissed and round it. But I mean, they like poetry. How bad could they be? Who are you? They chanted. Where the fuck is Johnny Clarke? One guy walked right up to me and stood this close to my face, and he repeated over and over the mantra, "You are shit." Good evening. This song hasn't got a title yet. It was influenced by Bob Dylan. And it's about going home with someone insane with no shoes on. Pale pearlescent morning with the sun and moon in the sky. I send a message to the moon. Bring me chocolate and cigarettes too. This night is longer than an empty train. Do you feel the strain? Oh, I do. Now the sunrise is gone, so blow your nose. Come on, step outside and curl your toes. Standing in a warm laundrette, fingers shaped like castanets, busting out silver gloom that open soon. My eyes won't get used to the light, seeing sunbeams dancing in my shoes. Oh well, who's to blame? I've got morning shame. Oh, I do. I'll send a message to the moon. Bring me chocolate and cigarettes too. This night is longer than an empty train. Do you feel the strain? Oh, I do. Now the sunrise is gone, so blow your nose. Come on, step outside and curl your toes. Standing in a warm laundrette, fingers shaped like castanets, busting out silver gloom that opens soon. So blow your nose. Come on, step outside and curl your toes. Standing in a warm laundrette, fingers shaped like castanets, busting out silver gloom that opens soon. Yeah, it was a mixed response. Somebody put a pint on the keyboard player's keyboard and he headbutted him and it resulted in a barroom brawl. But one guy liked it. Yeah, he really liked it. And he said he had a mate who had a mate who had a mate who knew a mate who worked in a studio could get me some demo time. So, I need a band. Well, the keyboard player, he stuck around. He was a bit cheesy, but he said no. I needed a guitarist as I was shit. Now there were loads of musicians in Manchester, but not many wanted to be in a band with a girl singer.
For women in general, it's tough. I mean, just kind of, walking down the street, never mind being in a bloody band, fronting a band.
The woman was seen as slightly less than a human being as compared to most men, and that more like a commodity, like a racehorse.
I did go and see one guy and he looked me up and down like a cattle merchant. Yeah, I'm kind of busy with my own stuff, so I'm going to have to hear you sing first. The cheeky get! I was meant to be auditioning him. Then I found one. He was the thinnest man I'd ever seen. He smoked cannabis through a coke can. Thought I was beneath him. Too loud, too female. I irritated him, and I like that. He had naught better to do, so he hung around, lurking disapprovingly. And then I found a drummer. Symbolised here by a bottle of vodka with orange. Favourite tipple of many a drummer. John Bonham, Keith Moon. He was a drummer. I had a thing for drummers. We spent our nights writing, rehearsing, popping pills, making dance music you couldn't dance to. We sampled huge swaves of the Beatles and the Stones and put it over big beats. It was mad. We'd argue for hours and hours about what we should be called. Right. What about Tracer and the Stars? Fucking piss off! I'm not being in a band, call that.
Something more low-key.
Low.
Shit name.
What about high? Fucking already a band, call that.
No, that's the high.
Fucking high low.
Shit name.
What about Northern Star? Fuck it, that'll do. We recorded our first demo at Strawberry Studios, home to Joy Division, Martin Hannett, 10cc. We weren't allowed in the day. No, we had to go in at night. It's called downtime. Like when all the proper musicians from the BBC and bands with record deals have finished their sessions, we go in and work straight through till the next morning. Our engineer was top. Our very own Phil Spector with a deathly white studio tan. He never slept. He just stared at the huge mixing desk with its blinking lights that hypnotised. We had 3 nights to do 3 songs, which sounds like a lot, but not when you're in a band. Everything takes forever. Arguing the toss about loops, bloops and gloops all through the night. The singing was always the last thing to go down. Usually about 5 o'clock in the morning, and I'd be a bit tipsy, but to be honest, completely and utterly wrecked. Hiya. Yeah. Can you have it a bit louder in the headphones, please, this time? What? Yeah, sorry, that is a bit loud. Okay. Oh, God, that sounds well flat. It sounds like I'm singing in a bucket. Yeah. Right. In here, in the vocal booth, is thick carpet, room-like place. You just hear the clunk and hiss of the tape machine. You feel really focused. Dickheads, I can hear you lot, laughing and clinking glass up there. Can you not shut the fuck up? I mean, in one way I'm glad they're here, that feeling of camaraderie. But in another way, I wish they'd just fuck off. Focus. Think of all the songs that started life in here. don't blow it. Deep down where the sun don't shine, making a deal for mine. Living a life without luxury, when's the payback time? I tried to lift you up, you brought me to my knees. The best is all that I can give, it's all I care about. Makes no difference what you think about me. Makes no difference what you think about me. Magic you see is blowing in the breeze. I tried to lift you up, at least I tried. Some lonely days, hour after hour, I tried to lift you up, you brought me to my knees. I tried to lift you up, at least I tried. Now and then I get high. Anticipation. It was 1988 and the times they were a-changing. And God created Manchester in a psychedelic technicolor splat. Go with the overcoats, replaced with flares, hoodies, baggies, action, ouch. The Japanese arrived, snapping the everything, buying the dogs in the shirts of our backs black. Manchester, a global commodity. Stone roses, the fireball, the blazing trail to London, bright lights, big city. Record companies. We were booked in to play trendy Camden nightclub, the Milk Bar. It was transvestite night. No, it didn't bother me. All I know is someone's writing about us. Someone's written a press release about us. I mean, most of it is bollocks. Indie dance, crossover, trip hop, blah blah. But this bit, Northern Star, a Manchester band who are safe to play the gay bars, who do not promote northern macho stereotypes. Fuck knows. All I know is I'm in the dressing room, well, ladies' toilets. I'm feeling slightly underdressed. I did stalk the London streets to find a suitably outlandish outfit, but I didn't have any money, so I ended up with these. Going against the typical feminine stereotype, Y fronts equal androgyny. I know. I think the drag queens are going to think I'm taking the piss, but I've no time for doubts. I've got 20 minutes to make an impression, 20 minutes to smash it, 20 minutes to secure that deal. We somehow acquired a tour manager. He said he's got a few tricks up his sleeve, so I thought, what could possibly go wrong? It was heaving. They were all in there to see us, but they didn't know who I was, so they wouldn't let me past. I was stuck near the toilets in a transvestite forest. The band were already on stage. People were starting to slow clap. Eventually, I pushed, and I dug an heel in, ducked, grabbed the mic, and through the cacophony of feedback guitar, I started to sing. I couldn't hear a bleeding thing. There were people nodding their heads around at the front. I mean, they seemed to be enjoying it. I couldn't really tell. Then the tour manager set off the first of his tricks. It was meant to be a foam machine. You know, like those Ibiza foam parties. Only he'd done it on the cheap, so it was just fairly liquid and a blower. Big clumps of it floated through the air and landed on the transvestite's wig like some off-its-head Christmas grotto. That was nice. Then came trick number 2, the smoke bomb. Time stood still as a mushroom cloud of red hung, then slowly descending, it mixed with the foam and turned everything it touched bright pink. I saw in the corner of my eye the meanest looking drag queen stare down and see the devastation. She had murder in her eyes as she rushed the stage intent on my strangulation with a feather boa. The keyboard player got there just in time and felled her with a single karate chop. In the confusion, I fell arse over tits onto the drum kit with my white fronts in the air. The photographer snapped. And I got my first picture in the NME. And cometh the A&R guys, circling us were Silvertone, Creation, RCA, MCA, Alex from Blur, all interested in us. The advice flew in.
See, the problem with your independent labels is, well, we ain't got any fucking money. Yeah, but majors are clowns. They don't give a shit. They just chuck money around. My darling, there is a theory. Cockneys bring doom. Stay here and grow. Go there and wither.
So we entered the air-conditioned office of the A&R guy. Clad in his obligatory leather jacket and Chelsea boots, he greeted us like a nasty smell. Well, we did whiff a bit of smoke, cheap hotels and expectant sweat. I don't think he'd even heard our music yet. He'd been told to see us northern monkeys down on the train doing the rounds. He'd been told about this crazy Manx sound. He switched on the charm. And I squirmed as he swayed his hips to our demo that blipped oddly through his Bang & Olufsen speakers. Yeah, I love it. It's Manchester, city of sin. Like 60s Liverpool, you are in. Like a Beatles satellite act. In another dimension, you're still a black. Cosy chats in the Groucho bar. Shark bait, white bait, T-bone star. Trust us guys, yeah, you'll be fine. Just say your name on the dotted line. So we shook his hand and left at a pace, and he checked his possessions were in the right place. And then calling me back, he said, I can do wonders for you. Gold disc on a wall, new hairdo. Advance, let's say, 200 grand. Just one thing, lose the bend. Your guitarist is a drunk. Your drummer is a power-crazed hunk, and the keyboard player is from another fucking planet. Get rid of the bend. But we're a band, we come as a band, no way. Alright, calm down, whatever you wish. Forget it, it's nothing. As you say, it's niche. So at the signing party, drinking champagne from paper cups and celebrating our big bucks, I thought, Things aren't quite what they seem. I never told the band what the A&R guy said. Well, they won any time. It was the tour.
Down the country, in the back of a white van, me and the band, poppers, traffic jams, more gigs, build a profile, more gigs and bands, big up, better bands, poppers, traffic jams, working up the food chain, it's a fully fledged carnivore. What do we all want? 1, 2, 3, 4, eat, Glasgow, wow, wow, oh, Dutchess, Duke and Charlotte, sure, Lee and Birkin, South Bowling, that's what Bungle, got no sleep. Oh, the off, right, the off, put your t-shirts over the off, 5 minutes, no sound yet, shut my eyes, I'll hit the deck, sleep is the sucking, 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 sleep, this fossil kiss, same old place, they laid you down, bound, the wrist so tightly, sitting still, so clumsily. You need to move on, stop. You know I've got just you out. You lost your mind in my car. Stop. More money, more sex. They'll suck you till you are dry. Open up unzip your skin. Now you don't feel anything. You need to move on. The grateful dead backwards. The dead never accept pseudo trick of them. Yeah, potions and dreams of all dreams. All I remember is the staircase going up. I ended up on the roof of the Columbian Hotel with a wizard with stars in his beard. And he told me, when you die, you reenact your happiest or saddest moments over and over for eternity, for big time. You make a plan over this town like alright. But now they all want their cash back. You need to move on, stop. You know I've got just you out. You lost your mind in my mother fucking die. Stop. You need to move on. More money, more love, more money, more sex. More money, more sex, more love. More money, more sex, more love. Supersize. The supersiders. Look what they're doing. Oh, mama, the supersize me. Stop. Move on. Stop. Move on. We want more. We want more. Stop. The supersize. The superstar. Supersize the superstar. Stop. The cats are beginning to show cocaine on our cornflakes. The ultralight's glowing. The guitarist on manual. Final tap moments. Hello, Shrewsbury. Rock and roll.
Let's get this album in the bank. I know a producer. He's American, the Yank. Beautiful guy, work with all the big names. We can use a state-of-the-art studio. Jimmy Page's old place. Oh, and by the way, it's not too late to get session musicians in. I hear them lot have been getting pissed up at gigs again.
You're all right, we'll cope. I did mull over what the A&R guy said about Jimmy Page's studio. I looked round at the band. They were all arguing about travel scrabble. I thought, if the boot was on the other foot, would this lot be as loyal to me as I'm being to them. We arrived at the studio of Jimmy Page. It was huge, pure 70s rock and roll opulence. There was a wine cellar with bottles of wine worth more than my life. I shuddered at the thought of our bar bills. But we went on to try out the said wine cellar. It would have been rude not to. Then we started to argue about who got the best bedroom. Then they said they wanted the girlfriends to come down. Here, it's not an holiday. Fucking shut it, you! Your boyfriend's already here!
Shut the fuck up.
I think it gone to his head, the guitarist, all this record business stuff. I never told him what the A&R guy said. I never told any of him, but I wanted to then. I wanted to scream at him. The record company think you're shit! But I never. But he had to escape before they started growing beards. I went out to explore.
And I found caves. And inside them caves, I found remnants of spells, burnt ashes, herbs, skin and entrails. This was definitely a place that magic was still practiced. It was full of symbols and keys to other dimensions. Proper Aleister Crowley territory. I love all that shit. Maybe I could call on a super being to help me write a hit song. Hey Lucifer, I call with desire, union of blood. Lucifer, I call with desire, union of blood, union of fire. Hey Lucifer, I call with desire, union of blood and fire. Hey, hey Lucifer, come get in my bed, my chamber of nightmares. Come get in my head, Lucifer. I'll walk a wire, stayed up for days with you to rise from the mire. I stayed up with the bell ringers. They told me a secret river. Still you refuse to shine. Why do you refuse to shine? Devil, I'm here. I'm here. Lucifer, you decked in a golden crown. Shoot me through the stratospheres to the abyss, unbound. Lucifer, I walk a wire, stayed up for days with you to rise from the mire. Stays up with the bell ringers and he told me a secret giver. Still you refuse to shine. Why do you refuse to shine? Devil, I'm here. Devil, I'm here. Lucifer, get in your golden crown. Shoot me through the stratospheres to the abyss, unbound. Lucifer, I walk a wire, stayed up for days with you, rise on fire. I stayed and stayed and fought and fought. I stayed and fought and fought and fight in a flood, in a fire, 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 in a flood, in a fire.
Told me the producer had arrived, the American, the Yank, and we were taken to meet him. We were led to the main studio, and we peered in through the tinted windows at the row upon row, gear upon gear of flashing lights, sliders and knobs. We gazed in awe and wonderment. Then, herded away from the main studio like sheep, we trudged onwards, up a gravel path, over a small bridge, across a tiny stream and into our studio, the garage, and the sound of constant dripping water. The producer was already in there, the American, the Yank. He wasn't at all what I was expecting. He was really small, and he had this eye that bulged and winked. He sat like a gargoyle in his chair, dropping names like bombs. Hey, hey, hey! Kick my ass. Go on, kick my ass. I deserve it. I'm so sorry I'm late. I'm a big fan of your work, guys, seriously. I was held up with Bob. You know, Bob Dylan. He's a close personal friend of mine. Are you settling it okay? Yeah. Between you and I, my bloody Valentine are working way over in the main studio. The record company's having a stroke. Ha! So we'll be working in here. Hey, don't worry. I've gotten great results in here. It reminds me of when I worked on Parallel Lines. Yeah, I love the garage. It's element. Fucking small, sniggered the guitarist. My expression remained disappointed. It was like a boot camp, strict working hours. You had to think about timetables, punctuality. He didn't go down well with the band. He alienated them one by one. The guitar is out of tune. The drums are out of time. The keys are at best superfluous. And you, my dear, you sing flat. Are you deaf? Seriously? Here's the rules. 1. You cannot enter the control room if you have been drinking. 2. There's no smoking in the control room. I have asthma. And 3, I'm in charge. We complained bitterly to the A&R guy. Hey, who is this bastard? He's taking over. This is our music in his spot. spoiling all the fun.
My hands are tied. He has a contract. He'll finish the album and that is that.
But he won't let us in the control room if we've been drinking.
Then I suggest you don't drink. Chin up, see it through. As I said, there's nothing I can do.
Great, so I stuck with him. And the guy's a knob, without a doubt. But he's made some fantastic records, and we haven't. So we just have to dig in and get the album done. And in a roundabout way, it did work. The guitarist had his hip flask, an occasional bout of arrogance. The keyboard player just kept his head down. And the drummer, he sweated and sweated and sweated and played it all in time. He stuck around with me for moral support while I did my singing, over and over. But he soon caved in like the rest of him and disappeared down the pub. I, however, soberly stuck to that gargoyle like glue. He liked working by candlelight, and he plays tricks on the eyes. You see him now, that producer, the American, the Yank. He's got my future in his freakishly small hands. Fuck it, I'm having one for the lads. Yeah, I'm smoking a joint for inspiration.
Cannabis is a third world drug for third world people. That is why nothing ever gets done around here. You, young lady, are swamped in opiates, mired in hashish, and smothered by your band. Hey, they're nice guys, they're beautiful guys, but they don't want it like you do. We have the potential to make a hit record here, and you don't know your ass from your ear.
It's elbow, actually.
I don't take drugs anymore, but you may find this useful in clarifying and open your eyes, Tracy. How much do you want this? Enough to work hard. Enough to trust me. Enough to ditch the band. Enough to sell your soul for rock and roll.
Full of surprises. The producer, the American, the Yank. This is crystal meth. Highly addictive. Travelling around the world and back in the blink of an eye. Nothing can stop me now because everything's clicking into place. I'm like a shining torch of musical light marching onwards like Joan of Arc. I'm on fire, I'm on fire, I'm on fire! And then the smell hit me, the unmistakable acrid stench. My hair was on fire. The candles came out in handfuls, black wisps of burnt air. But this was an epiphany of sorts, because the dripping in my head was replaced by one clear thought. How much do I want this? Enough to work hard, enough to trust him, enough to ditch the band, enough to sell my soul for rock and roll. Damn right. So the deal was done, we shook on it, and that night in my meth cloud, the producer became my manager, co-writer, partner in crime. We gately quantised and compressed the music into straight lines, eradicating much of the band's work, including the drums. And I knew it was a betrayal, but I didn't care, I don't know, it was coming down. I just wanted to get the album finished, and what is wrong with that? So, I moved out of the studio, out of the white van, and into a Lexus. I was restyled, rejigged, remixed. I got new frocks, new shoes, new hairdos. I got a new name too. I was now to be known as pop star Norvin and Chase there, but gone.
It's not just about the music. It's about what you look like.
Yeah, and I look like a twat. Big videos, bigger hairdos and thousands of pounds spent. It went from building up a profile to this first single's got to be a hit. No pressure then. I went up and down the country in the back of that Lexus to every single radio station to promote the single. from cheery breakfast to local drive time, from national late night to serious enemy types, from 70s dinosaurs drinking late in hotel bars, giving you lists of things not to say. Don't talk about music, don't talk about the album, keep it mundane, talk about Manchester and don't swear.
So, pop star. Well, is that your real name, or is it just wishful thinking?
Oh, well, my real second name's Star, but the pop bit's meant to be ironic because I don't want to be a pop star, I want to be a rock and roll star.
Really? For our listeners, how would you describe your music?
Kind of poppy, dancey with guitars. I don't really know, really.
Oh, so when can we expect some live dates?
Finished off the album, but soon, I don't know, I'd love to play live.
Can I ask you, has the Manchester backlash affected you?
I don't really know, really.
So, pop star. Is that your real name or is it just wishful thinking?
Well, it's kind of like a statement about what you've got to go through, you know, to get the music heard.
How would you describe the music?
Well, the single's very commercial, but the album's much more diverse. There's loads of influences on there, like Bob Dylan and David Bowie. And
When can we expect some live dates?
that's a really good question. I'd love to play some live dates with a band.
Cool. Has the Manchester backlash affected you?
Nah, there's no point in stressing. I mean, there's nothing I can do. I'm from Manchester, I can't wash it off.
So, pop star, is that your real name or just wishful thinking?
Ironic, and I wish I hadn't bothered now.
How would you describe the music?
Hardly recognisable.
So, when can we expect some live dates?
Well, I've sacked me band, so...
Has the Manchester backlash affected you?
Got to 41. So now they're running around like headless chickens. Suddenly they don't like the follow-up single. It's too long, it's too short, it's too fast, too slow, too gloomy, too fucking weird.
Well, that was lovely, Tracy Starr, and now I think we might have some other.
Manchester's bubble had burst. Its star no sooner ascended, began its descent, and I was stuck on the launch pad, debts mounting. I took the coward's way out. No, not like that, I mean with the band. They were informed by lawyers' letter that their services were no longer required and the album was no longer theirs. It was all legal and above board, and a stab in the back. The guitarist threatened to sue. The keyboard player went back to jail. And the drummer, well, I betrayed the drummer most of all, and I lost a friend there. Onwards and upwards. Not my friend, I love you, you sent me round the bend. Gonna put a wall between us, gonna put some air between us. Love you, but you're wasting my time. Alright, I won't tie you down, I'm not losing any sleep. It's that consciousness I can't keep. Okay, my world is turning round. Leaves fall, leaving it all. Goodbye, goodbye. Goodbye, goodbye. Do I have to make my mind up? Should I have to make my mind up? Love you, it off my list. I love you, but you took the piss. Gonna put a wall between us. Gonna put some air between us. Love you, but you're wasting my time. When I stay up late at night, and you know sometimes I do. After we have had a fight, I'm leaving you. Alright, I won't tie you down. I'm not losing any sleep. It's that godlessness I can't keep. Okay, my world is turning around. Leaves fall, leaving it all. Goodbye, goodbye. Goodbye, goodbye. Goodbye, goodbye. Goodbye, goodbye. Goodbye, goodbye. Goodbye, goodbye. So what about some live dates?
You haven't got a band.
The irony was not lost on there. Well, what about the album?
Put back till the timing is right. Don't worry. Why not take a vacation?
A vacation?
But I keep on harking back to this thing of that solidarity. Because especially, you know, with a group as well, when you're in a group of people and that you started out like that, and you've been together like that, you experience all that together, and that solidarity is something that is, and it's the bond, is what it's all about. So if you don't have that, you're on your own.
Want to go on vacation? I thought I'm going to write a song a day. I ran out of ideas on Tuesday. Nothing ever happens on Tuesday. But I need to go out and live a bit, enjoy myself. I became a sexual predator. There was a fireman, a lifeguard, a dealer, well, several dealers. I mean, it was fun at first. Blurred memories of muscly arms, tattoos and constant bed air. Oh, and the drugs. They soon became the focus of my vacation. I did sober up for the odd interview and pointless trip to the record company, but in between, feeling more and more hopeless, I just got completely and utterly wrecked. Day after week after month. I got an audition to be a TV presenter. I didn't want to be a TV presenter and went anyway and blew it. I had a line before I went in to calm my nerves. They said, we'll let you know. I bought a stylophone and more drugs. I spent a lot of time in hotel rooms because I had too much time on my hands. I had no band. I was in limbo. I needed to eat. I can't sleep. That's not going to help me sleep, is it? Best not. Oh, I'll have a bit. Fuck it, have it all. How much was it? 300. 300? You can afford it. No, I can't. No, I can't. I need to write a song. Can't write a song, I'm too mental. You're too depressed. Have some of this. Oh, that's bliss. I need to write this down so I remember what it feels like. I am a shining torch of musical light and I can touch the abyss. Not asleep, Hannah. No, you're awake, and it's a fucking nightmare. But I've got too much time on my hands. I've got no band. I'm in limbo. I need to eat, and I can't sleep. Well, that's not going to help me sleep, is it? Best not. I'll have a bit, and fuck it, have it all. How much was it? 300? 300! 300? You can afford it. No, I can't. No, I can't. I need to write a song. Can't write a song and 2 men. No, you're too depressed. Have some of this. Oh, that's bliss. I need to write this down so I remember what it feels like. I'm a shiny torch, a musical light, and I can touch the abyss. I'm not asleep, I'm a no, you're awake, and it's a fucking nightmare, but I've got too much time on my hands, and I've got no band, and I'm in limbo, and I need to eat, and I can't sleep. Well, that's not going to help me sleep. 50 pence, not I'll have a bit, I'll fuck it, have it all. How much was it? 300? 300! You can afford it. No, I can't, I need to write a song. I can't write a song, I'm too mental, you're too depressed, you'll down some of this. Oh, that's bliss. I need to write this down so I remember what it feels like. I'm a shining torch of musical light and I can touch the abyss. I'm not asleep, I'm a no, you're awake, and it's a fucking nightmare.
Always crashing around in the dark.
blacked out in Blackpool and ended up back in the bedroom with the posters on the wall. My mum put me to bed. She said I was just tired, but I could see the worry in her eyes. I thought this must be my all-time low, until I came face to face with the letter.
And I get a feeling you've been cheated.
Dear Miss Starr, we are writing to inform you of the position of our client, hereinafter referred to as the record company, in relation to the artist hereinafter referred to as Tracy Starr. It is with deep regret we inform you that we feel unable to renew the option or commit to further releases. Blah blah. I've been dropped. And commit to further releases means the album. You know, the one I sweated blood over, the one I lost all my friends for. I mean, can they even do that?
Mages are evil. I reckon, right, your beautifully well-crafted album is collecting dust on a shelf, written off as a tax loss or whatever. They do it all the time. The cunts.
I never liked these people. They never looked me fully in the eye. The music business is a filthy business. And he's in on it and all. The producer, the American, the Yankees taking his money and run. How could they have been so blind?
I was told she was committed, you know, and I got a couple of really mad. I got a phone call from her, and she said she'd married a certain DJ, famous DJ, and everything was all right, and I believed it. And of course, it was absolutely mental.
I could kidnap the AR guy, tie him to the chair, make him listen to all that shit he's put out there.
Blow me down. I'm on my feet again. Did a long, long time before I'm in your arms again. Like the fuse, watch it now. I hope you had your fun before you're gone. Scratching at my door. I just can't let you in. I got nothing 3 times, and I won't get nothing again. You beg for mercy, I said no. I hope you had your fun before you're gone.
So I was arrested for kidnap, attempted kidnap, damage to property and defray. And in order to avoid a custodial sentence, the judge ordered I do a stint in rehab. Doddle, I thought. All musicians do it. It's like a rite of passage. I'll be with like-minded people. We can write songs, get our heads together. Not this rehab. State run, no frills, smells like cabbage. Great leveller. I was in the main ward at first, but some guy kept getting into bed with me, insisting I was his wife. I just tried to avoid all contact with him. The swollen bellies, watery eyes, yellow-stained fingers, alkies and nutters.
Right then, Tracy. We have your white ones, kick your can. We have your blue ones, stop your shakes. And we have your big fat sleeper to block out the screamers.
I had a lot of time to ponder in there. Funny thing about hitting rock bottom, that stomach churning feeling of falling into the abyss is gone because you sat in it right up to your neck. I'd sold me records, me publishing, me soul, and I had no one to blame but myself. I tried to remember how I'd got to this. I shuffled into the TV room one night, driven there by my thoughts. I went over to the furthest chair and sat in a prescribed stupor. They were all laughing, but nothing very funny was said. My head started to nod, so I thought, I'm going to have a roll there and go back to my room. Then I heard something familiar, a bit squishy and squashy, but so familiar. I looked round at the nutters, half expecting them to recognise it. They didn't know that music, but I did. Yeah, is someone messing with my head? Because that sounds like my song. Is that my song coming from the TV? I sat glued to that TV for 3 days and 3 nights, but nothing. I thought, I've been in here too long, the telly's talking to me. And then... It turns out it was my song. The producer, the American, the Yank, had sold one of my songs, one we'd made late at night by candlelight. He'd sold it for an advert in Asia. So my song was on an advert in Asia on the TV. It was an advert for anti-dandruff shampoo. Song. How can you do that though? How have you the rights to do that? How can you sell one of my songs to a bunch of arseholes who wouldn't know a decent tune if he jumped up a... How much? Well, the size of the cheque served to soften the blow. So I left Rehab, way too soon I'll admit, but I left Rehab to acquire my newfound wealth. And I tried London. I tried to rekindle old friendships, but they pretended not to know me. The medication I was on made me slur a bit. People laughed when I left the room, and I was searched everywhere I went. Paranoia set in. I tried shamelessly to get another record deal off the back of the advert. Tried to market myself as a serious songwriter who couldn't actually write songs anymore. Corporate doors were closing, and I didn't have the strength to knock them down. Where had my mojo gone? Eradicated with years of drugs and self-loathing. Nah, there was no down for me in London. I was unwanted, unreal, an out-of-date girl.
It was a great song, so, you know, that was great. It wasn't kind of done by, you know, kind of paying the dues, so to speak, and going out and touring and working and touring and getting, you know, getting your following bigger and bigger and bigger. So it was great, you know, she got a bit of dough. But I just thought, you know, it's take the money and run, really. Don't go on the back of a kind of a hit single from an advert.
It was Friday the 13th when I decided to go home. I didn't care it cost more on the train because I had money in my pocket. But things did look a bit bleak, so I bought a bottle of red wine to calm my nervous belly. It tasted good. And I disembarked the train, and the Manchester streets shone with rain. And I entered my first bar. There were some familiar faces, dimly recognised.
Yeah, aren't you that mad bird who kidnapped that business guy? Top one, corporate bastards. Oh, sorry.
Alright.
How'd you get away with that?
By being heavily tranquilised.
Weren't you in a band? I didn't like you, but my sister did. What you up to now?
Drinking and writing songs nobody's interested in.
Nice one.
Conversations with a complete stranger. I must be home. The bar then fills up with musicians, old and young, rich and poor, bitter and twisted. We talk about talent shows, TV reality shows, miraculous comebacks and airline growbacks, and it ain't work for him, work for you. In the bar, alcohol unites us. Conversations flit around the good old, bad old days, how we were ripped off, robbed, or worst of all, ignored. Change the subject. Put some music on, mate! That's apt. That's my song. When is a good time to bow out? When should a rock and roll wannabe pack it in? When it's no fun? When it goes backwards? On the 7th drink, a new face appears in the bar. It's a fella with a face like an angel. He comes right up to me and asks me for what I drink. I say, yeah, I'll have a Pernod cider in black, please. It's called the Red Witch. It reminds me of my youth and the death of innocence. And I wanted to get pissed, and I realised I was halfway there, but not quite. He said he knew me and that he could help me, and I should write songs for other people, write poetry and get published. I said, I don't want to be a rock and roll star anymore. It's not all it's cracked up to be.
When things get that way, then you should stop. It's the easiest thing in the world to just stop. You don't want to be a pop star, just stop being one.
I thought the next day I'm going to split the money with the drummer and the keyboard player, and fuck it, and with the guitarist. And with my share, I'm going to travel. I'm going to dance to a different beat. Oh yes, I'm going to leave these slippery wet tiles that trip you up and catch you when you fall. And I smiled then. For the first time in a long, long time at the thought of leaving it all behind. And I kissed that angel-faced fella from who knows where. And I noticed he didn't have any shoes on. I asked him why. He said he didn't feel the floor. I thought, I'm with someone insane. With no shoes on a pale pearlescent morning with the sun and moon in the sky. A blue light flashed like a ball of flames, and I can't tell them my first name. I could feel the light going in. My hands were stinging. Do you think you can open your eyes now for me? Do you think you can count to 5 now? Everything was shaking, started to fall. Hit me like a train, hit me for hours. I traveled through a wire, saw myself on the floor. If this is how it is, I don't want anymore. Red light, red witch, you drunk enough, you stupid bitch. Just a girl who can't say no. Just a girl who can't say no. I'm going home. Shop news. Manchester-based singer Tracy Starr was found dead earlier today. Police have not specified a cause. She was probably best known for her song used to advertise an anti-dandruff shampoo. The inquest into my death was inconclusive, misadventure. The album was released from its dusty shelf and was a minor hit all over the world. My face appeared on every magazine for a week or so. One Manchester-based writer wrote, slightly out of fashion, slightly out of style, and slightly out of sync. And I like that. A real life rock and roll star. Do be careful what you wish for.